Obviously, we were just talking earlier about marriage and who recently has got married, and actually, I think marriage is actually, the statistics of marriage have halved, I think. Yeah. Do you think marriage is irrelevant? Is this why why aren't men getting married?
Well, the bottom line is it's a raw deal. For men, it's a really raw deal. The benefits are heavily outweighed by the dangers and the risks. If you're a man and you divorce, the outcome usually favours women massively. You can end up losing your home, half of your pension, half of your wealth. You can end up not seeing your children. And studies have shown that men are more adversely mentally affected by divorce than women. So, and there's also a lot less support network in place.
So he just answered the question very respectfully. He didn't try to disrespect. He didn't try to discredit women. He didn't try to put anyone down. He stated all facts and what he believes. And I bet they're still gonna ask him some dumb shit, or still ask the question just in a different form and act like he didn't just answer the question with straight facts and with his educated opinion.
You also say that if a woman gets pregnant for a career choice, and I think that you have used the words that women do get pregnant for career choices, that's what they want to do.
Come on, my man's really trying to act like he's never heard of a gold digger.
Now I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke.
That if you were the guy and that you didn't approve or you didn't okay that pregnancy, then you, I know you use a term, I didn't like it actually when I read it. It was just like financial abortion, I think you said. Well, I didn't like that. But what that means is that you can say, right, okay, I had nothing to do with this, I didn't ask for it, you've surprised me with it, therefore I've got nothing to do with it, I won't support it.
Well, what I was really saying is I was mooting that as like a hypothetical point to illustrate the fact that when it comes to power, although the illusion is that men have all the power, actually when it comes to kind of personal relationships and relationships between the sexes, women have most of the power.
This is why younger generations don't listen or watch mainstream media, because they always have an agenda or they always have something they're trying to push. Like they act like they can't read between the lines when it's obvious that, you know, when you're talking to somebody or you know somebody, you know what they mean. They don't mean everybody. Like, for instance, this guy is not saying everybody is trying to get pregnant as a career choice, and he's not saying all women have most of power, but you know what he means. If he's saying some women get pregnant for a career choice, that's gold diggers, then you know there's some women that are like that. Most women aren't, but you know what he's saying. And it's just annoying because they always press one point. They always have to be so politically correct.
That's true as well, but obviously babies are made by two people, so shouldn't men just use contraception?
Just man up. Well, unfortunately, you know, women have the lion's share of contraceptive choices, and once a woman is pregnant, of course, the man has no say, and yet the consequences for his life are lifelong and huge. They have a huge impact.
That's true, but if he'd taken precautions in the first place, he wouldn't have a baby. So don't men have to just use their brains rather than what's in their pants?
Absolutely. And look, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of reckless men and plenty of responsible women out there. And of course, not all women get pregnant as a career choice. That was a sample of a study that I was quoting. But, you know, there are instances, like look at Liz Jones at the Daily Mail. She famously stole the sperm from her husband's condom. She violated his choice about fatherhood, and that could have changed his life forever.
Have you been hurt?
Odd that he just showed his perspective and his point of view, and the first thing they come up with, the first question is, have you been hurt? Making it seem like his point of view is totally off or totally wrong.
No, I'm not.
What is it? What started this off? Is this a big revenge trip?
No, not at all. Look, this is just about me being a young man in the modern world. After 50 years of feminism, I am one of the products of that. And, you know, I have 3 wonderful sisters who I love, and my mother I have a great relationship with. My parents are still together. So my personal experience of marriage, you know, is wonderful. But for me, as a young man entering into that, politically, it's just not viable.
So you would never get married?
No. Well, I would do if the laws changed. If I was protected in equal measure to, you know, like, perhaps the woman I'd marry, then I would consider it. But at the moment, I mean, let's be honest, marriage is a contract. It's a business deal. And I wouldn't enter into any contract without reading the terms and conditions and being aware of the risks.
I don't see anything wrong with doing the proper research, being educated, and knowing marriage might not be for you and it might not be for men. And I also understand not doing what society tells you is the right thing to do, because I've been doing that my whole life.
So a few years ago, I was in a relationship for about 2 years, and I really thought I saw a future with this guy, but talking about it was totally off limits. I remember one time we were at a restaurant and we were sitting next to this amazing family, and I just commented on how cute they were and just generally brought up the idea of marriage. After that, his entire demeanor changed and he got really, really quiet. I know.
That's interesting. Did you bother asking the guy what his views on marriage were, what he thought about it, before you went all the way on Steve Harvey's show to ask him about it?
And then another time we were walking past a jewelry store and I just kind of pointed out a ring that I like. After that, the day was ruined. I said a ring. But the final straw came when we were at a friend's wedding, and of course I caught the bouquet of flowers.
Oh, who are you kidding? You know you stiff-armed one bit, tackled another, shack attacked, bulldozed another, just to catch that bouquet of flowers.
But after that, he demanded that we leave, like right then and there, he demanded we had to go. So I guess I'm just wondering, why do men avoid the topic of marriage unless it's forced onto them?
Why do men avoid the talk of marriage unless it's forced? So is it A, women are usually ready before us? B, we don't avoid it, we're not just stressed about it? Or C, because we'd be okay with it never happening? The results are in.
It was D, all of the above!
Nearly half say B. They don't avoid it, they just don't stress over it.
Okay, so you are in a long-term relationship, yeah?
I am.
And have you already picked out your wedding dress and all that?
Yes, it's pink.
So tell me why you're not stressed.
I'm not stressed about it because I'm confident in it. See, I've been dating my girlfriend Maggie for 2.5 years. When you meet her, you know she's the kind of girl you would marry. And so it's just not something that I really think about. But she asks me, when are we going to get married, all the time? Because she's worried about when she's going to cut her hair, whether her friend's going to...
Wonder what she's thinking about. She's in a deep thought right now. It's interesting. She's over here in her own head, not paying attention to what he's saying when she should be listening to his answer, because that's why she's on here in the first place.
She's worried about all these little details of a party that I have no control over. Right. And the only thing I get to do that's impressive is...
Wow. My guy's just giving his honest opinion, his answer, while she should be all ears, because this is why she came on the Steve Harvey show in the first place. She's over here rolling her eyes. And this is why guys go MGTOW.
We up now, smoke well, sleep well.